So back to you guys. How have you grown as musicians? Because you've been through a lot of you've been through a lot of lineup changes, right? So how have you guys grown as a band and as individual musicians?
School. School's a big part of that.
We're all music majors.
Yep.
Yeah.
That helped.
Yeah, that's cool.
We do all have degrees in music.
It definitely, like, as we progressed as a band, we also...
You're like, now you have to solo and do stuff because we're not getting another guitar
Yeah, and then we would be
He was
jamming,
like, she
we'd
had to
jam on
step
Led
up.
Zeppelin and stuff
So
like that.
he
And
would
I'd yell
like,
at you
he
to
would like
solo.
yell at me all the time, like, just do it.
That he would be me, the bass player,
Yeah,
by the
sorry,
way.
The bass
He'd
player.
scream at me all the time. He still does.
Yeah.
And just make me
That's so
solo and make me
nice.
solo and make me solo and make me solo. And I think I'm
No,
decent.
you're saying something
You
now.
can
You're
legit-
saying
even my mom is
something.
like,
right.
you used to be bad, but now I think you're really good. I'm not saying something because my mom's just like hard to please.
So is
Mhm.
Alan's father.
Yeah.
My dad's a professional musician. He's
Yeah.
gonna pick apart everything.
I think
He conducts orchestras for a
I
living.
think the moment where I was like, oh my God, was when we finished playing a gig and Alan's father came up to me and said, Margaret, you finally found what I was trying to get you to find for so long. And he was like, I didn't think you guys had a shot of making it, but now I really think you do. And I was just like,
It's funny because like
Aw.
that's when she says that same gig we had it recorded. You know, you could do it on the soundboard at the place, and we
Yeah.
thought the gig went phenomenal. Also, then we listened to it. We were actually not that tight, but it's interesting because in a live setting you can't tell.
Yeah.
You know what
the
I mean? Things
energy.
fly
Yeah, the
by.
moment.
It's the energy.
Yeah,
it's
the
the
energy,
moment. You
yeah.
can't hear like things as well. But with the board mix, he was like, you know,
yeah,
it
because then
wasn't-
you hear every nuance. You hear
But
all
I
these
think
out-of-tune
that's
notes.
something
and
that
it's
would
like,
happen with any band. It's like you,
Yeah,
it's in
you
the
can
moment.
never-
Like we just did an interview recently. It's like, do you make mistakes on stage? That was
Yeah,
one of the
I read
questions.
that.
It's like, yeah, and sometimes you don't notice them till later, until
Right.
you
Yeah,
listen
you don't
to a
even notice
mix
them
like
yourself,
that.
yeah.
It's like,
or unless it's something big where you're just like, well, there goes that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. All right, let's keep the solo going another time.
Yeah.
Something like that, you know. Well,
Pretty much.
Joe, how
Yeah.
have you grown? We haven't heard your
Oh,
voice.
me. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, drum.
actually, that'll help me a lot
Yeah, yeah.
with us. One of my favorite things to do is play country music, and by playing that, I've learned to be in the pocket with the bass player. How to learn to be simple instead of playing huge fill like in Journey and Billy Joel and all that stuff. Just playing a simple groove is more of an impact than try huge drum fills and everything. And a couple of recent songs, I just sat there. I've been learning the National Number System and learned how each progression goes, how the chords work, and the phrasing. And just from there, I became better. Over the summer, I started really practicing with click tracks and metronomes all the time. And from there, my timing's been better and everything. It just
Oh,
takes that little kick, and that doesn't.
Yeah.
No
That's-
pun
Yeah.
intended.
The click of the kick
Yeah.
of the click. There you
Yeah,
go. That's
not the
it.
kick pedal.
Yeah, not the kick pedal. Yeah.
That's great that you guys put so much into it. It's
You know, you have.
you
to.
guys can't
have
see
to.
it, but I'm putting a
Mhm.
thumbs up.
No,
They
you
see, they see.
yeah,
They're looking
yeah.
at the radio.
Looking at the radio.
Looking at the radio, look hard enough, you can see it. What were the best and worst shows that you've played? What made it the best or what made it the worst?
Wow.
Can I start?
Okay.
Yep. Go
Alright.
around.
Well, I have two bests, and then one of the best is one of the worst. So, best show was when we were playing this Battle of the Bands at Sullivan Hall,
I concur.
and I was just about to this is right when I started doing
Is
rhythm guitar.
this the first Battle of the Bands or the second Battle of the Bands?
I'm gonna go with
Sullivan Hall.
first one or second one. Which one do you think was better?
I think they were both good.
they were
both
both
very
they were
good.
both
They were both
equally
very good
good.
shows.
They're both
But
very
this is just when I was starting out as rhythm guitar, and I was still a little shaky with it, and they didn't have a second guitar amp, so I was like, great, so that I could focus on just singing, because that's what I was used to doing at the time. So we got on stage, and we just, I don't know what we were on, but we just demolished it. Like, we were just awesome.
That's when we still had horns. So you had
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
three
actually-
horn
that was-
players
that
on
was-
the side of
that
the
was-
stage.
That was the peak of the ska sound.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
that was the
ska,
peak of
yeah.
it,
we
definitely.
were right
but
there.
we
Yeah.
were just
Boom.
right out the gate. Every single song, the crowd was in us, and it was ridiculous because the band before us, there wasn't that many people in the audience. And then when I looked out, like they had like this fog smoke machine, the whole hall was packed, and it was a long place. So like straight back down to the door, there was
Yeah,
just
it's probably like 300-400 people maybe.
It was a
yeah,
lot.
there was
Yeah,
like
it was
300,
about-
400
Because they had to
people.
stick around to the end to vote for their favorite
Yeah.
band, so we were on towards the end. so people were
Yeah.
like around.
And
Yeah.
there was
People were
already
kinda mingling
people,
a bit,
like,
yeah.
I guess people who were walking by who just came in and they were just packing it out. And I was just like, whoa.
Aw.
And I remember when they were like, when they wanted everybody to win, they were like, okay, may I have one member of every band up on stage? And like the lead singers all went up. And then Jenna came and joined me on the stage because we were we're the two men or women.
Front wins.
Wow, wow, wow.
They're front wins.
front women, front men. And I remember when I was just kind of chilling against the wall, and I stood up when the lady called "Not from Concentrate." This huge, unexpected roar of applause because it's by audience judges who wins. So this unexpected roar of applause just hit me, and I was
Yeah.
just like, "Whoa, buddy, that's for us."
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
See, this goes back to like how is it difficult to like make it as a band.
Yeah.
From that, we didn't really get anything. Like as far as fans, as far as-
Really?
Yeah.
but we had 300 people
despite-
in the
yeah.
audience watching us. What
300
came out of it?
and then voted us to win, and then we actually sold out of all our merch
Yeah.
when we were there too. We sold out of everything, and then
Nothing.
Yeah.
And
Aw.
then second best was the show where Alan's father complimented us. That show was awesome. And then it's
Well, now for the worst.
and then now for the worst.
I'll talk about the worst.
All right, yeah, go for the worst.
I would say that the worst was probably the one I wasn't at. Me and Alan were in Europe two
Oh,
summers
yeah.
ago.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
okay,
and
then that's
we-
number 2. At
We
worst.
had a gig at Sullivan Hall, like this big venue that we had the Battle of the Bands at. And since we
Yeah.
impressed people, they're like, come back, but it's going to be in July. And we're like, because I was studying abroad, it was already
Yeah.
arranged. It was like, okay, whatever. So we got a friend of ours, one of the guy from the Drunk Story, to play lead guitar.
Yeah,
and his
friend to play
played
bass. And they had been, we had practices before we left to make sure that they were getting it. They had practices before the show to make sure they were getting it. Like, this was like over a month in advance. She was like, I appreciated it. But
appreciate what you did. I really do. Thank you.
I'm going to let you finish.
I appreciate what you did,
I was like,
you still
But nevertheless, this was wrong. This was wrong. And he was, and then one of our songs that we kind of put to rest in a haze. He was like, "Oh, that was one of my favorite songs." I didn't even risk playing it because when we were practicing and he would mess it up, he'd come in with the ending solo way too early, like in the bridge early. And I just did not even want to risk that song being played live, then have him mess that up because the whole entire set was just falling to pieces.
What was another bad gig that you liked? Let's hear their opinion. 'Cause I have another one in mind. But...
Okay,
Us
okay.
playing.
Those are usually, I mean,
Yeah.
The worst was
they're always,
the Dock Street one.
Oh no, this
Yeah.
was the worst because I blew out an amp over this. Oh my god. We played at
Oh.
Dock Street on Staten Island. And it was right when they were coming back from being like some old fogey bar, or no, it was like some 21 plus, and it wasn't cool anymore. And then like, let's bring it back to its height, and it's never still gotten there. And we're like, cool, we'll play, yeah. And this was when we had all the horns too, and it was really exciting. It was the first gig with a new trumpet player and everything, and nobody was there. And my 30-watt amp was not cutting it, so I was turning it up because we still had to play. We weren't gonna leave. And then my amp blew out. It was such a cool amp. It was just terrible.
Yeah.
gave
Played to the
110%
bartender. We still gave
Aw.
110%.
Yeah.
Should have thrown the amp at
I
somebody.
mean,
We
it's,
call it practice gigs.
yeah, we
Well,
practiced.
yeah. all the shows.
Yeah.
We're like, this is good. It's good practice.
there's been a lot. There's been
It's
a
on
lot of
stage.
those gigs where like the band coming in after us comes in, and then they're like, "Whoa, why are these guys playing to no one?
Yeah, it
They're really
stinks.
good."
That's the worst.
That's what sucks. I felt kind of bad for like obviously Jenna, Allen, and Joe. They're from Staten Island, so
Staten Island.
What does that have to do with it?
no, but I kind of felt bad for them at the Dock Street gig because I guess
Oh.
especially Jenna, that was where like when she was in
That's
high
where
school.
I spent high school, period.
Yeah, in high school,
So
that was the.
I
that
was like
the it
hyping it
place.
to them. I was like, Dock Street, Dock Street, Dock Street, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
spent all high school
like
there,
that.
too.
That was the the it
Yeah.
spot. So
Staten Island high schools are not
Kind of
good.
lame.
Yeah.
so I felt bad for them because especially coming into Dock Street, it was kind of just like,
It was cool back in the day, Margaret. God.
yeah,
It was cool once.
yeah.
Those are probably our worst gigs.